Hello, folks, here on the Political Napalm. It is Friday, October 4th. Let's just jump right into this. I'm ridiculously pissed off and angry right now. I'm just going to tell you in the beginning of this video. And I'm going to show you the reason why here at the beginning. And then we will go ahead and discuss how this is all lies and how the right is continuing to politicize this here and everything. This is just crazy how this continues to happen over here. So, first off, Jovan Pultizer, our most favorite target here on the channel, aka Jeff Philyaw, which is how I refer to him and will continue to refer to him, has sort of been underground since September 27th on his page. Keep that in mind as we're going to come back to it. He's recently decided to post something on Telegram, and two of the people on his page have elevated that post to his Facebook because he hasn't done anything on Facebook for several days. So this was posted on his Telegram, and this lie absolutely needs to be called out. So let's go ahead and listen to his Telegram here.
Hey guys, it's me. I want to give you an update. I haven't been where I've had connectivity because I've come out to the East Coast where we also have a production. Many times I do from family facilities, but we're all caught in this huge hurricane. The devastation you can't imagine, but I also want to let you know they are not letting power utility trucks, FEMA support, other support get into these cities. They're blocking it. And I think this is part of the rig so they can swing North Carolina. I think that's what's going on. And they're trying to swing North Carolina. They're probably going to keep this shut down as long as possible. We've been without power or fiber or anything for 7 days. Got to come out of the mountains to do it. But I'm telling you, whole mountains have slid down. Entire roadside cities have been obliterated. This is worse than you can imagine. Please share this video far and wide.
That is patently ridiculous, and I'm going to show you the proof of it as we go through this particular video over here. As you can see, he is... So first off, he has said that this has been that way for 7 days. Helen only made landfall down in Florida 7 days ago. Okay? Take a look at this. Helen landfall. 7 days ago, it was down in Florida. So it was not in North Carolina 7 days ago. So that's piece of bullshit number one. To say that he has been without power, if in fact he is somewhere in Western North Carolina for 7 days, that is completely untrue. The bands of the hurricane from Helen were not reaching to North Carolina 7 days ago, which would have been the 27th. Very easy to find that out. Just look at the calendar. Go Google Helen landfall date, just like I did. That's when it was down in Florida. So to say that that flooding devastation was in North Carolina, the Asheville region of North Carolina, Western North Carolina, Asheville, Boone, Chimney Rock, is false. To say that he's been without power that long, false. He says present tense that he was dealing with the hurricane, not having dealt with, or past tense. He says dealing with it as if he's currently in the middle of it. So if you sit there and say, well, perhaps he recorded it a while ago and then only was able to get connectivity on October 3rd by coming down out of the mountains and everything, blah, blah, blah. You can see through the back window of his car or vehicle right there that is completely sunny and The trees were not moving. There is no rain. There is no wind. There is no active hurricane he's dealing with at the time of this particular recording. So that defense goes out the window. Also, multiple Starlink locations are up and running in Asheville as of right now. Again, let's actually look at it and you will find the truth. 2 days ago, Starlink access. Starlink is getting Western NC back online. A day ago, which is the 3rd, which is maybe when he did this. Of course, here is Elon being part of that Republican narrative. FEMA is not merely failing to adequately help people in trouble, but is blocking citizens trying to help. We're going to talk about this lie too. White House has reported dozens of Starlink satellite systems were already deployed in North Carolina, with over 100 more on the way. So connectivity is there. I am part of several groups on Facebook dedicated to my area of North Carolina that are stating exactly where the internet has become available in Asheville and locations in Western North Carolina. So to come down, quote, out of the mountains is not exactly true. Asheville is considered in the mountains. Swannanoa is considered in the mountains. He may have to come into the city to get it, but he's making it sound like it is this horrendous trek because there is nobody out there to help. All of that is bullshit. All of that has been Republican lies that are getting debunked daily, and the proof is out there. Plus, the narrative from the right is beginning to twist in on itself. You can't have 3 running narratives and have them all be true at the same time. So first, you have people on the right, like this person and others, saying that Asheville is the most woke city in North Carolina. It's nicknamed the San Francisco of the South. I hate seeing fellow North Carolinians suffer from flooding, but it's full of degenerates who ruin the city, so sometimes you have to flush it. Oh, okay, actually, I'm going to take back what I said earlier about the landfall and the devastation in North Carolina. Here, this was posted on the 27th, and the flooding is already there. So that actually does give a bit of credence to what Jeff was saying when he said power has been out for 7 days. So, because I absolutely believe in truth and reality, clearly I was wrong on that point, and here is me admitting it. You're seeing it in real time. If this was actually from Asheville, and I think it is, because I think this is a Wendy's over here that has been popular in a lot of these photos, but if this is in fact Western North Carolina and the Asheville area, then Jeff is right that power has been out for 7 days, and that it was getting hurt while it was making landfall down in Florida, and the bands were reaching that far. Now, granted, this could be a picture from somewhere else. I would actually have to, well, actually, let's see. Asheville, September. Let's see if there were any reports of it. Well, 7 days ago, during the evening of the 27th, yeah. Okay, so Jeff does have a potentially truthful point over there, and I was wrong. The flooding does go back 7 days ago. So, point to Jeff there. We have to tell the truth on this, and if I get something wrong, then I get something wrong, and that's absolutely it. But you have people like this person, Poppy Does It, NC's like Austin, Texas, full of leftists who ruin a once nice place. Not saying they deserve it, but maybe it'll wash the grifters to other states. There are more sentiments out there like this. It's not just 2 posts, but you can't have the narrative that Asheville is liberal and deserves to be hurt, but then have the narrative that FEMA isn't on site, and then have the narrative that FEMA is turning people away. So while I was wrong that 7 days ago there was nothing happening in the Asheville area, clearly I was wrong on that point. But look at these conflicting narratives. Ann Vandersteel, who is basically like a nose job version of Ann Coulter. Look at this. One man pulled 1.2K bodies out of the river in Marshall and bagged them himself. Thankfully, communities and neighbors are banding together. Looting in Asheville is real. Knives and guns are pulled on each other, and it's only day 6. Not happening. People keeping an eye on strangers, scoping the area. No man is going to be capable of pulling out 1,200 bodies out of a river. And who has 1,200 body bags as a citizen? This is positively ridiculous. Then you have this one from her. 6 children were just found. Their parents are dead. This is on Biden and Mayorkas and Kamala Harris. Another horror story. A surgeon from Polk County volunteering up in Western NC had to stop pulling bodies out because no, absolutely false. Then you have FEMA talking about the rumors of them blocking people. When we were there, we're talking to other pilots flying in and out. They said they didn't know where this rumor got started or why it got started, but everything that was being bought in is going out in some form or fashion. They are saying this happened previously in Hawaii, and things were being said then about FEMA blocking things. Here they are talking about, we work with nonprofit and voluntary organizations like the Red Cross. We help distribute things. They help distribute things. Here's another example of how the right wing is dealing with this hurricane, that it was created by HAARP and designed specifically to affect right-wing areas and affect their power to vote and everything, saying that it's going through Republican strongholds. Like, they can't even make up their minds. Supposedly it's hitting a liberal bastion and it deserves to be flushed, but then over here this person thinks it's flushing Republican strongholds. It is positively ridiculous, and these narratives keep twisting on each other. How can Jeff sit here and say yesterday that FEMA and TEMA is not being allowed in, but then you have people pushing these narratives that they are there, but they're not letting in citizen help? You can't have all of that ridiculousness. The truth is, FEMA is on site. They're already there. Look at this. If you look at these images, they've been there since September 30th. The Asheville airport has posted here, okay, right here, Asheville Regional Airport update September 30th. The first of the C-130s have landed. These are cargo planes with supplies. They have been on the ground since September 30th. So for Jeff to say that FEMA can't get in because they're being blocked, who is blocking them? Who would want to block supplies and disaster relief efforts, especially Democrat admin help going to a Democrat city? Roy Cooper, governor of North Carolina, is a Democrat. Biden and Harris are a Democrat admin. Why would a Democrat city not want help? It doesn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense because people like Jeff aren't processing it. They think their information is the only one getting out, and everybody's going to believe what he says despite all of this contrary evidence and narratives. I'm going to show you one of the real villains of North Carolina, and that is Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, who has been too busy to sign the emergency declaration that went out on the 24th. That's how early They knew Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina was going to be dealing with a potential emergency issue. The 24th, North Carolina was trying to get the emergency declaration signed, and this thread app, this roll-up of a thread from Sergeant Joker on Twitter, explains what he's been doing. On the 24th, he blamed his opponent, AI, for posting his remarks on porn websites. That, by the way, is impossible. You cannot go back in time and post on these sites and have it show up on Internet Archive-related pages. You can't backdate it, and you cannot insert it into the Internet Archive. It spiders or parses the page as it existed on that day and that month and that year. You cannot play with that. On 24th, he was still going on saying that he was hiring a Trump law firm who was going to sue CNN for posting what he'd been saying. Still on the 24th, he was at a fundraising event in Franklin County. On the 25th, he was still blaming media for reporting on his porn websites and everything, and saying it has nothing to do with his character, but it's, maybe just his personality. On the 25th, he was sitting in his computer doing something and claiming he was begging I almost said like Republicans not to abandon him over his porn addiction. On the 25th, he's still claiming the Democrats and the media are enemies of America because they reported on his addictions. On the 26th, he's still bragging about his legal team. Still on the 26th, again, he was bragging that he hired someone to replace half his staff who quit because the porn addiction was exposed. That is true. Over half of his campaign has abandoned him when all of this came to light. So he's hired one person to backfill things. On the 26th, he's bragging that not a real union had endorsed him. On the 26th, he's sending his thoughts and prayers, but still not signing the emergency declaration. He posted a video that he forced his wife to make, still not signing the emergency declaration. Now we're on the 27th. Now we're on a flood day, as we have seen from Google and that post from Reddit that I was talking about earlier in the video. Excited to be on the campaign trail, not signing the emergency declaration. I thought this was kind of fake at first, but no, it's real. Because Trump has abandoned him, he brought cardboard cutouts of Trump and Melania to campaign stops with him. On the 27th, still not signing the emergency declaration. He was in Moore County instead. Still on the 27th, he's posting pictures of the devastation, further giving proof that I was wrong and Jeff was potentially right, that he's been without power since the 27th and everything. The images of devastation come in and around western North Carolina. I can't help but be overcome with grief for those who were suffering, but he still hadn't signed the emergency declaration. On the 28th, he went to a car show, which is where he burnt his hand on the tailpipe of a truck and had to be hospitalized, still refusing to sign it. On the 28th, he posted a video claiming to support North Carolinians affected by the hurricane, but forgot to mention he still hadn't signed it. Caswell County hoedown on the 28th, still hadn't signed it. Still on the 28th, thanking Governor Ron DeSantis for a little bit of help, still hadn't signed it. Same thing here at the Liberty Antiquities Festival. He's saying public safety isn't political, still hadn't signed it. On the 29th was at Hickory Motor Speed, screaming at people from behind a fence, still hadn't signed it. Still hadn't signed it when he's talking how desperate Western NC is for supplies. Here, he's blaming Governor Roy Cooper for not doing enough when he still has not signed the emergency declaration. So there you go. As of the 29th, he hadn't done his part to sign the emergency declaration when everybody else in power in NC had. And he's blaming Roy Cooper for it when he's not doing his job. So, you need to ask yourself this right now. Which of these things are true? Jeff saying nobody can get into the town. And even FEMA is not getting into the town. And it's to rig an election because, god damn, they know NC has a strong chance of going blue. And Mark Robinson is one of those reasons. The fact that people in NC love what Roy Cooper has been doing is one of those reasons. The fact that Kamala didn't tap Roy Cooper to become part of the campaign, which may have helped North Carolina, but it's still looking good that North Carolina could go blue where they did not in 2020. So why would we be hurting the Democrat chance to vote blue, especially in a city like Asheville? So that's narrative one. The other narrative is that FEMA is on site, but blocking citizens from helping. There is some truth to that, where they don't want citizens trying to go in the dangerous roads, the barely passable roads, choking out the one or two openings that they need for their vehicles, and just randomly dropping things off and doing things. They want it given to them so that they can organize it and get it to the right people and not put other people at harm. So which is it? Does it deserve to be flushed because it's liberal? Can nobody get into the city and help, including FEMA, which is absolute bullshit? Or is the narrative that FEMA and TEMA are there, but blocking citizen support? You cannot have all three of those narratives exist at the same time. And when there is actual goddamn proof that FEMA planes have landed in the Asheville airport to help people before the roads were open, they got support in over the destroyed roads by going in through the air. And then you have him saying even actual real support, not citizen support, governmental support isn't making it in when there are pictures like this existing proving that it's there. You can't have all three of these narratives. Jeff Philyaw, Jovan Pultizer, is a goddamn liar. It's time people realize this and wake up and stop letting him lie through his denture Dan teeth to you people. Hold him accountable for this. Call this bullshit out. Done with this, dude.